So we're surprising Colin with true stories of our own in this segment called Tales of the Mighty Quinn. Keith, you go first.
Well, Colin likes to think that he's just as recognizable as Michael Jordan. He really thinks he's the people's choice. He walks around shaking hands, hugging, picking up black babies, as if he's running for office. He really believes everyone knows him. One day, me and the legend, as he calls himself, are riding to Boston to do a show. I pull off the highway into one of the worst rest stops a black man could pull into. I think it was called White Supremacist Food and Gas Stop. Long story short, you know, I mean, I'm there, my ghetto spider sense isn't working like it should, so I'm ordering these big white bikers around, like, hey, you, get the gas for me. Not knowing that they're not gas attendants. So, Colin sees me in trouble, so he figures he'll pop out of the car, they'll see his highly recognizable face, and he won't beat the crap out of us. They look, so he's staring the guy in the face like, I'm Colin Quinn. No one knows him. The only reason we didn't get the crap beat out of us is that they thought we were undercover cops. Nick DiPaolo.
This is what a comedy purist Colin is. We were in L.A. and we were using our manager's office at night to write, and we found a stack of tapes of comedians our managers were thinking about signing. Long story short, one of the comedians was a puppeteer. So Colin takes his tape, opens a window, and throws it 4 stories down into the street, and a truck runs it over. And then he just sits back down and starts typing. Doesn't even say anything about it. No smiling or nothing. That's all. Under 30 seconds, dummy. Go ahead.
How about introducing the next guy, jackass?
All right. Yeah. Thank you. He's directing now. Yeah, the kid who smells like urine. Jimmy, give us a start.
No need to chop off my legs so you feel taller. I was debating what Colin's story to tell. There was the one time when I was really depressed, and I opened up to him in the car. Good 25 minutes he sat there listening, and then he finally says to me, Jim, you're a crushing bore. And gets out. Or the time when I heard the Comedy Central might be interested in doing this show. So I said, hey, Colin, I hear this show might have some legs. And he said that it did, and he'd love to have me involved in it. And then he told me if he ever again heard me using a 1983 showbiz expression like it has some legs, he'd spit in my face. Or I thought about the time when I introduced him to this pretty gal I was dating, and Colin proceeded to go on and tell her that I was a Jersey Square. Yeah, exactly. Not funny at all. That kind of thing. And I finally decided to tell the story about the time that Colin sat me down and told me how much he loves having me on the show and referred to me as buddy. But then I realized I couldn't tell that story because it doesn't exist. Greg.
I'm asked constantly, Colin gay, or, you know, does he really let his cat lick his balls? And all I could say is Colin's a complicated guy, and the longer I know him, the less I understand him. I do know that he is a great and genuine guy who really thinks he's got the answers to everything. When the show was just getting going, Colin pulled me aside to say he noticed I was having problems with my voice and that people seemed to be having trouble understanding me. Now, coming from him, that seemed ironic, to say the least. But he said it was because of my posture and the way I held my head, and that I was somehow constricting the airflow through my throat. Now, with all the stresses and pressures of writing and hosting a nightly show, he still took the time to make me paranoid and self-conscious about how I held my head. But seriously, with everything he has to worry about, he's always generous and thoughtful to the people around him. It turns out I was losing my voice because of acid reflux, and that this airway constriction theory made about as much sense as Tuesday's Act 3 sketch. But it's the thought that counts.
Was I the only one to get a memo that said to keep it to 30 seconds? Jesus Christ.
That's the sad part. All these semi-nice things are going to get cut because you bastards can't just say, I hope it gets home what I said about Colin. It's all about you. We'll have to do one episode for each one of these goddamn things. They're all 20 minutes long. And acid reflux is a result of posture, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But right now, I have to go over here. Oh!
So how did you feel when all these people were paying you your props?
I actually felt
like the only happy moment was that Nick DiPaolo really is pissed at all three of them for going along, and he's going to be upstairs cursing and kind of yelling at them for the rest of, the next half hour. Yeah, I wish I could do that. He's going to be mumbling about it and cursing them out for a few months.
Is this the relationship they all have off